Practically all information available online in the English language about countries where most people don't actually speak English is skewed to spread the narratives of those who are wealthy and privileged enough to have learned foreign languages. Let me explain. English proficiency in most of the world, outside of English-speaking countries and Europe, is very low. Even India, a country with more than 100 million English speakers that has its own native variant of English called Indian English, has an English-speaking population that only amounts to 10% of its total. And it's even worse in practically every other country. People who receive a high-quality English language or bilingual education in childhood are much more likely to come out of it speaking English, and access to such education is highly divided along class lines. While public schools do often teach English, the quality of the instruction and the rigor of the curriculum is really rarely good enough for them to retain anything. And people who have parents that speak English and thus pick it up from them are also overwhelmingly likely to come from the upper classes. So, with rare exception, English speakers who come from non-English speaking countries who you encounter online, and also perhaps out and about in the world, come from privileged backgrounds and thus are much more likely to have political opinions that benefit themselves. That is, pro-free market, right-wing sort of stuff. And these are the people who end up dictating the conversation about their country and its politics online. And they do this while trying to give off the impression that their opinions and beliefs are popular and held by the vast majority of people in their countries, despite the fact that they have absolutely nothing in common with the average person. And these people are much more likely to be given voice in the media, which is dominated by English language outlets, much more likely to be editing Wikipedia articles that are many people's first stop when they're first investigating a new topic, and much more likely to show up in English language conversations on social media while purporting to be speaking on behalf of their countrymen. And this is absolutely universal. It's true from India to South Africa to Venezuela to China to Bolivia, whatever. So if you see someone speaking English while purporting to be from a certain non-English speaking country, acting like they've got their finger on the pulse of their people, and like they're there to inform the ignorant foreigners of what's what, you should be more than a little bit skeptical. Contrary to what you might assume, people like that, in spite of their enormous privilege and education levels, are much more likely to try to spread conspiracy theories and utter garbage than pretty much anyone else, simply because they're accustomed to being treated with deference and as if they're authorities on a topic when they talk about their country in English, so they know that they can get away with practically anything. If you have genuine interest in learning about another country, put some real effort into it. Don't just talk to a couple of people and take on their stances as your own. If you wouldn't take, say, a Trump supporter's word on how the USA is, why would you so simply take the word of, say, a Bolivian who is the equivalent of a Trump supporter in Bolivia on Bolivia? Think critically, look at someone's background and wealth, and think about why they might be motivated to spread the narratives that they spread. Because the average Bolivian, or Venezuelan, or South African, or whatever, is about as far away from the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, German, English surname sort of guy who you see online all the time. This is me, the Empanada Report, also known as the Bad Empanada, signing out for now. I salute you, and I do not salute the troops. Only you.